Dietrich SAUNDERS.
Gregory.
Eagle looking great. Your go.
And we're rolling, Gregory.
Greg Saunders.
Wow. Hey, great.
Show us the skills that have made you a media darling.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Welcome, 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 welcome to the second Stateline show.
So hot water, you know, when you're washing dishes, that feels cleaner, right? Right? It always feels cleaner. Hot water when you're brushing your teeth, that just feels wrong.
Wait,
What?
brush your teeth?
Oh, ooh.
Are we supposed to brush our teeth every day?
Better be brushing your teeth. I'm Greg. He's Tom.
I do.
It's the
Every day.
Stateline Show episode number
5 times a day.
the 23rd day of December, the year 2023, the latest it has ever been.
In the history of mankind.
You made it. Congratulations. Merry Christmas, Tom.
Merry Christmas to you. Ho, ho, ho.
We have a show.
Yeah, we do.
It's the second to last Saturday morning Stateline show.
It's called the penultimate Saturday morning Stateline show.
Thank you for that, Tom.
Yeah.
Some Facebook user said good morning and Merry Christmas to us, but it doesn't say who. That's a new one. I wonder if that's AI generated then.
I wonder if it was Zuckerberg. He's a fan of us, you know. He's probably just thanking us for boosting his Facebook ratings. Up, 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 up.
Maybe. It's possible.
Yeah.
Well, we do not have a guest today. Oh, shoot. Wait. I'm trying to do things on the fly here, copying and pasting, and I know I can do it. I've done it before. Copy, and paste in the chat. There we go. Big number of the week this week. Let's do that before we get anywhere else. Otherwise, I could, go down the bunny trail, and then that gets a big mess. Okay, the big number of the week this week in our current race to 10, by the way, Tom and Joann are tied at 6. We could have a winner for weeks. We probably won't, though. It'd probably be more like 5 or 6 or 7 weeks. Oh, wait a minute. Today's the second to last Saturday morning Stateline show. What am I talking about? You'll find out. It's coming up. Our big number of the week this week is 202,000. Your answer is Swans or Salary. Swans or Salary. Put your guess in the chat. Oh, now, good morning, Rough-Corn family. It's the Rough-Corn family. I don't know why it's not showing us your name on my little chat box here, but if I show this, see what it does? It just says Facebook user.
Oh. Now, is that celery with peanut butter or celery with ranch dressing?
No, come on. Swans or Salary.
I already gave you my pick right there. Can you read it?
Right.
No, you can't.
You didn't send it yet. Now there it is. All right.
There it is.
So Tom and Joann said she will be joining us this morning. I wasn't sure.
That is good.
When we ended the show last week, which, by the way, again, I apologize to you. I said we were going to talk sports a little bit, and then I just shut everything down.
Yeah, I was a little mad at you. I really was. I'm like, what the heck? Come on. I had Packer talk I wanted to do.
I know, and everything. I was so distracted being at Rock House Kids, and I shut everything down. And then I'm starting to pack some stuff, and Joann goes, "Weren't you going to talk sports with Tom?" And I was like, "Shoot, you're right. I was going to do that." We were in their conference room.
I apologize for not being there. I have not felt good for the last week and a half. I've got this head cold. I literally feel like I was in a WWE match and I got my head stepped on by Iron Claw the Crusher, whatever,
Oh, no.
Whoever it is. I don't know.
Oh no.
And I'm just like, oh man, my head feels like it's going to explode. Already this morning, I've done my Alka-Seltzer, the Plop Plop Fizz Fizz. I had a good breakfast. I got some coffee here to soothe my throat. You can tell I'm a little raspy. Sound like Bonnie Raitt or Bonnie Tyler or Bonnie something.
There's a lot of that going around, a lot of respiratory stuff going around. So yeah, just
Well, tis the season, you know. I love the background, by the way.
There we go. No,
Frozen?
I don't think there's anything I can do to make the background because it's a background thing.
Yeah.
Other than make us completely disappear, I can't make us small in this for some reason. But
Well,
if
okay.
I can do this.
Yeah.
I can take us off completely, but then we can't hear us. So because of a lack of a guest this week, but we do have some special stuff to share. We have we'll call it an AI and edited version of the story of the birth of Jesus Christ. We're going to share that. In years past, our tradition for about 9 years,
At least going back to the radio station days. Yeah.
has been to read "'Twas the Night Before Christmas," which was fun to do, and we've done that, and that's recorded now. Posterity, it's all there. You can go back to last year's show and see Tom and I read
That's
Night Before
right.
Christmas. And we've actually done that 3 times now because this is our 3.5 years. We've been doing the podcast version.
Yeah. I'm going to miss that one, but this is very good too. I like this.
So this year, yes, we're reading the birth story of Jesus, and I've been using AI, actually bard.google.com, to help me write some stuff, and then once you get it, you have to edit it. You really do. And what the proof of that for me was the fact that a few weeks ago I asked it to do some quizzes for me, some trivia. I was thinking of Tom, and I was thinking of the show, and I was thinking of some trivia and some stuff I wanted to record for my real estate business, some of the videos that I put up on my real estate YouTube page. And so I was like, hey, this will be fun. This will be great. So the first time I just generically asked it to write me trivia questions about the Rockford area, Northern Illinois. And it gave me a few questions, but all the answers seemed like they could be right. It wasn't like obviously wrong answers and one right answer. And when I did some checking into what I thought what the right answer should be, they weren't right.
Oh,
they were asking questions about like there was some kind of zoo that used to be open years ago near the collar counties of Chicago, and they said it was in Rockford. I'm like, that's not right for sure.
Yeah.
So I had to keep asking it to, okay, so do the quiz again, but this time show me verification of which answer is correct. And even then it was wrong.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, give me web links to show me where the answer is. And it did that. And now I could see why it was getting wrong answers.
So AI stands for almost intelligent?
Almost intelligent.
There you go.
So the better thing to do with AI is creative side things, which would be like, well, telling stories. And I wrote a song. I wrote a song this week. Let's start the show with the song, Tom.
Okay, sounds good.
We're going to start the show.
I'll start. We wish you a Merry... Oh, not that one, right?
As we all know here in Rockford in the Northern Illinois area, this season, we're not getting snow for Christmas. We're getting rain for Christmas is basically.
I'm getting no snow for Christmas.
So I had IA write a song. I had to manipulate it a little bit, and this is what we came up with. It's a little ditty that I added music to and call "No Snow for Christmas."
This is good stuff. You're gonna like it.
Deck the halls, crank the carols, fire crackling in the hearth. The trees trimmed, presents gleam, joy rings out over the earth. Something feels amiss. Where's my frosty kiss? Oh no, there's no snow for Christmas. Temps 52. Hey, there's no snow for Christmas, no snowball fights for me or for you. We got the mistletoe, wondrous lights aglow, but this Christmas there is no snow. Sledding hills, bearing brown, no need for red-nosed reindeer out here. Maybe Santa leaves his sleigh at home, uses his boat instead this year. The ice rinks a puddle now, snowman's melted too, but I'm happy to be with you, even though there's no snow for Christmas, temps 52. No, there's no snow for Christmas, no snowball fights for me or for you. We got the mistletoe, wondrous lights aglow. But this Christmas there's no snow. Tom Warner on the bass there, ladies and gentlemen.
That's right.
Be sure and tip your waiter. They've been working hard tonight.
And then put them back in the upright position when you're done.
There's no snow for Christmas, temps 52. Oh, there's no snow for Christmas, no snowball fights for me, for you. No, we got the mistletoe, wondrous lights aglow. But this Christmas there is no snow. Oh no, no snow for Christmas, temps 52. No, there's no snow for Christmas, no snowball fights for me or for you. We got the mistletoe, wondrous lights aglow. This Christmas there's no snow. There you go. No snow for Christmas, everybody.
I like it. Very good. Very good.
And how that happened, just full disclosure, I asked I went to Bard and I said, I want to write a song about not having snow for Christmas called No Snow for Christmas. And I want you to include having mistletoe and having lights aglow. But this Christmas, there's no snow. So that's, I basically kind of gave it the chorus, and everything else it kind of filled in with stuff that some of it worked really well, some of it not so much. I took the best of it and made it into a song. And then I had to find music because I wanted to make music.
We almost had like a scat kind of approach, like, oh, missiles aglow. And so it kind of fit. You can make anything fit when you do it that way, because you don't have to have the actual, I forgot what they call it, oh crap, I can't remember what the word is. 575.
Verse, chorus, verse, bridge. That's what it wrote for me. It wrote verse, chorus, verse, bridge, chorus, and that's what I was trying to do eventually, but I couldn't find the music for that, and I was like, okay, I'll make it fit the music. So that was fun to do. And before the end of the show,
cool.
I've got Don't Forget the Snowman possibly to share that too, which is something I did a few years ago. Actually, that was a COVID year. That was a COVID year song that we wrote, and so I've played it before on this show, but we'll probably play that one.
The last 2 years, I think.
Couple years, and that one of course involves snow, but we don't have any snow this year.
We have no snow.
Ain't gonna happen. Even our overnight lows wouldn't be cold enough to have snow for the next few days, because like overnight low temperatures are only getting into like the 30s.
I get it, we need snow for Christmas and all that, but I guess I'm okay with it. I mean, with all the driving, think about it this way: if we have a lot of snow, I don't want to sound morbid or anything, but there's a very good potential for deaths on the road.
Right.
Maybe not having snow is a blessing. Somebody's not going to lose a loved one this year. And it doesn't mean accidents won't still happen, but at least nobody ends up in a ditch. And you remember this, last year at Christmas, I had to make an emergency run out to New York. We loaded up the car.
Right.
And we had to go pick up my daughter and my son-in-law and their 3 kids. That was a miserable 14-hour trip because it was so. You remember and it was Christmas Eve that we left at noon. We canceled everything Christmas Eve, and we made it to New York the following day on Christmas Day. Drove 14 hours that day, and then got back by 4:30, 5 o'clock, and then I went and did trivia that night. And wait. It wasn't Christmas Day. We left Saturday, Christmas Eve. Sunday was Christmas Day. We got back Monday, which was a regular day. Yeah.
That was your own Christmas miracle right there, driving all the way.
Oh
out
my
there.
God. Oh my God, it was. Oh, and I counted 120 plus cars / trucks, motorhomes, whatever, in a ditch. It was unbelievable. And there was a Walmart truck cut in half. Now these beds, I don't mean the cab, I mean the back end.
Yeah.
Cut in half. Almost like where that iconic scene in the Titanic where it goes like this and then it sinks, or it goes like this and then like that and
So
sinks.
somebody caught that thing but must have got hit by another truck or something, huh?
Oh no, it slid off the road. The roads were awful because apparently Ohio and Pennsylvania don't believe in snow removal or something. I don't know, or salt or whatever. No, they were just. It was ominous. It was like a DMZ or maybe like a scene out of a Mad Max movie. It was unbelievable. Anyway, long story short, we got everybody home safely.
You made it back. That was intense. That was intense. Last week, want to give another.
So is camping, by the way.
So is camping.
Intense.
But he's full of them today.
I'm full of something, that's for sure.
You're always full of it. Congratulations and thank you again to Rock House Kids for having us at their awesome event last week. Joann and I had a good time meeting with volunteers and roaming around as all those gifts were being wrapped for their kids. Their event that they had this week. What a wonderful service and ministry that Rock House Kids provides to the Rockford area. And kudos to Deanna and Nikki and their whole staff out there and all those amazing volunteers that spent their morning at Rock House Kids wrapping gifts for all the girls and boys out there. That was really, really cool. Okay, the next I didn't put an order to all this stuff, Tom. I'm really bad about this. This show has been really discombobulated. I know we're going to do our story near the end. We'll kind of wrap up with
for me.
Us. I want to share a letter. Now, this isn't something I have done in the past much on the show, but as someone who is obviously doing this show, we're connected with a lot of Rockford area not-for-profits, and we've attended many of the events over the years, whether it's the fur ball for PAWS or the different dinners or foundation dinners and all these different things that are done around Rockford to support our local area not-for-profits. Tinker Swiss Cottage Museum is something that we've been at before and had on the show. And I got their letter this year in asking for some support. Now, most support letters, let's face it, are boring. I'm just being honest, okay? Most of the stuff you get in the mail for support letters are just boring facts and figures. Here's what we did. Here's what we want to do. Here's what we need money for. Boom, done. This one is special, and I'm going to read it to you right now and get your reaction to the letter from the desk of R.H. Tinker, Rockford, Illinois, 411 Kent Street, I actually got this in the mail in November of 2023. It reads like this. Hello, Gregory, my esteemed living friend. I, Robert Tinker, one of the spirited residents of Tinker Swiss Cottage, am breaking the barriers of the afterlife to reach out to you with a most peculiar request. You see, I've been cohabitating this charming historical abode for quite some time now, with our living staff members supervising daily tours and events. While I do enjoy a good ghostly laugh from time to time, I've noticed the old place could use a bit of TLC. But before we get into the nitty-gritty of our spectoral plea, I'd like you to imagine a dashing gent named Robert Tinker with the grand idea of building a Swiss chalet right here in Rockford. When onlookers asked about this architectural extravaganza, I replied, ever so modestly, I am building a house to give Rockford a name. Oh, I really did give you something to talk about. Over the years, the cottage has become a cornerstone of the community as we Ghosts take pride in its timeliness and timeless charm. It's been around for 158 years, after all. And Gregory, that's a lot of time for creaky floorboards to develop personality. Alas, while I might not mind the occasional leaky roof, it's caused quite a mess upstairs. The north bedrooms are in a state of disrepair. Plaster is cracked, and the wallpaper, well, let's just say the cottage has seen better days. I've been stuck in this liminal space for ages, and as much as I like to keep things exciting, the cottage is in need of some prayers. Pronto. Your contribution today can work miracles for our ethereal abode. It'll not only keep the tourists coming, but it'll also ensure that my legacy doesn't fade away. The urgency of this situation can't be overstated, my dear friend. Every passing decade brings new challenges, and ignoring them is hardly a sustainable haunting strategy. You and I both know that as time goes on, the cottage's preservation will become as elusive as our own ghostly forms. I'm imploring you, Gregory, to make a meaningful contribution before the year ends. Not only will you be helping to preserve this beloved historic landmark, but you'll also earn our eternal spectral gratitude. With your support, I, along with the other ghosts, can continue to keep the Tinker Swiss cottage alive and well. After all, we'd hate for our afterlife to become too spooky, even for us. Right now, with this letter in your hand, please be generous. You will be happy in knowing that you are keeping our ghostly home in tip-top shape. Yours hauntingly, R.H. Tinker. P.S. Our living staff will record your check dated December 31st or before as a 2023 gift. Your gift today will go directly to the urgent preservation of the Tinker Swiss cottage. Oh, you may also scan this curious square pattern with your modern device and follow the instructions with it. Brilliant!
That is absolutely brilliant.
Brilliant!
That's an understatement. That is so well written. I want to know who wrote that. Oh, goodness.
I'm fairly certain that our friend Samantha wrote that. Samantha Hockman is the executive director there of the Tinker Swiss Cottage Museum. She's done an excellent job, as she's been the executive director there for now, I think 4 or 5 years.
She has clearly done her homework.
She has.
That was amazing. Hey, could you send me that letter? Like, even if you take a picture of it on your phone, send it that way, or something.
Yeah.
Don't upload it on Facebook. I'm not on Facebook, so.
Well, it's funny you say that, because that's what I did to put it on the screen. I took photos.
I
of
know.
it, put it on the screen, and if I still have,
I'll have Kathy do it. She'll grab it, screenshot it, and print it out.
Let's see if that goes through for you. So, kudos to Tinker Swiss Cottage Museum and the more amazing work they did there. There are some photos up of their recent repairs, and maybe I got them somewhere else, because it's I thought there was photos up here of their recent repairs. This photo that's on the screen right now,
Yeah.
the second person from the left here, that's Samantha. She runs the joint there at Tinker Swiss.
Oh, okay.
Great gal. And yeah, they had to do some immediate repairs upstairs because the plaster fell in one of the bedrooms upstairs. And so they had to shut down the museum for a few weeks anyway to get that done. And it's done. So we're getting some more great comments here on Facebook, and it's why it's just saying Facebook user instead of who's actually doing it. I don't know, but thank you, Facebook user. Good morning, Tom.
It's probably Lynn.
It's probably Lynn.
I'll bet it is.
Awesome. All right. Joann is standing by. And do you want to come on the camera now, Joann, or do you want to wait a little bit? Because I don't know if you're ready or not. I know you can hear me. She shrugs her shoulders. She's like, I'm ready when you are. She's just so good natured. Joann, you're just.
I don't have my hat on.
That's okay. You're all right.
I had that cute elf hat last week, and my granddaughter stole it.
Oh, It's like the guy that stole Greg's Santa hat last night.
Yeah, I got a story about that last night. Yeah, so as a part of my shout outs today, want to give a shout out
Someone
to.
stole your Santa hat?
No, they didn't steal it. They asked for it, and I gave it to them.
I'm just causing trouble.
You were so kind.
We were at the Eagles Club last night. My friend Dennis, his son Connor serves, I believe, in the Army. It might be Navy, but I think it's Army. He's in the service, and he's serving in Japan at our station in Japan. And he's home for Christmas. He has to fly back on the 26th. So it was cool to hang out with Connor for a few hours last night at the Eagles Club down here on 11th Street, southern part of Rockford. And they do karaoke every Friday night from 7 to 11.
Oh,
So there's a handful of places that do karaoke throughout the week. There's about 3 or 4 that we've heard of that do karaoke Friday nights. And this was the one that Connor was like, hey, this looks like a good place to go. Turns out the lady that runs karaoke at the Eagles Club down here on the south side of Rockford, I sold her house like 4 or 5 years ago. And so I got to see Tracy, which was really cool. Tracy's awesome. Her friend ran the beginning of karaoke last night because Tracy's band was performing somewhere for something earlier, so she didn't get there till 9:30, close to 10 o'clock when we were about done. We were about done with our evening of karaokeing. Is that a word? So yeah, we were doing some karaoke.
Do you have a certain song you sing, or do you?
I do. And so my go-to karaoke song is a song called Vehicle. You know who does Vehicle, Tom?
Ides of March.
Ides of March. Yes,
That's of course.
Jim
Peterick, who is also lead singer and band leader of.
Oh, really? Sweet.
Yep.
That's cool. So that's my go-to song. I wrote some Christmas lyrics
There's
to
another Facebook user. Merry Christmas. Oh, it's at the same one.
There we go. Yeah.
Merry Christmas, Facebook user.
Everybody, thanks for watching. Thanks for
That
tuning
could be everyone in the world.
in. I know.
Yeah.
I think. I don't know how this is
Does
working.
it come up on Facebook? Who wrote it?
Well, if I go to my actual page, see, we've one of the
It'll
things.
be a mystery.
Where are you?
Mysterious Facebook user.
A Facebook mystery.
I'm a little confused this morning. I'm going to tell you that right now. I'm a little confused.
We did karaoke one time, and I practiced so that I would do well.
Where did you go?
A place that no longer exists.
You shut the place down. It was that bad, huh?
It was a Western bar towards Belvedere.
Club 51.
Where Smoking Coop is near there.
Well, yeah, that place used to be called, was it like Club 51 or something?
Oh, I think that's the one. But it's no longer. It was kind of a dive, I guess. Am I going to be in trouble for saying that? But I'm saying I practiced. I was in the midst of being a bad person, and I practiced torn between two lovers.
Oh, boy. Mary McGregor.
Okay, I solved the mystery.
Great song.
I solved the mystery. So the comments that are coming through right now are coming through a Facebook group page that we're now live on. We just started. This is the first show that we are now doing live on a specific Facebook group page, and you'll learn why we're doing that as we go into. We'll probably explain more of that next week. But
Greg doesn't like to explain things to us. All my friends thought from last week that you fired me.
There we go.
They were so sad, and they were no longer going to watch the program. There's probably one friend, but
did you explain to them what was going on?
I let them think I was fired.
Oh,
because they were sad, and I said I needed sad. I mean, I didn't need sad, but it was nice to have a sympathetic person. Oh, well, I'm so sorry you got fired.
the way we did it last week, it was the way I wasn't sure how we were going to do this, but the way we did it last week, I think was the best way because you were only in the dark for about 10 seconds. And then it was like, oh, I get it now. So you weren't waiting for days, wondering what in the world was going on, and like we're trying to do right now, but I don't think it's going to work. But anyway,
Well,
Nick,
I said that to my daughter. I said, I've been on the air. I have back for more than 10 years.
yeah, because you started with Todd and Shannon before me.
And I said, back to the years when I drug an animal to the radio station when we were still there.
This is so much easier, isn't it?
Yes, but I think it was kind of fun to highlight an animal. It was.
Yeah. So,
Well, that's
Deanna,
why I like
Nick, John, and Tammy. They're the ones throwing up comments up on our group page, which is why their name's not coming through because it's a group. It's a private. Well, it's a public group, but it's a group page on Facebook. And if they were making these comments on our Saturday morning Stateline show page, then we would be able to see who's actually, I think, making the comments. I don't know.
Well, nonetheless, we appreciate the comments.
We do. Thank you for the interaction. That helps us a lot. And for those who haven't done so yet, please, please, please follow us on Spotify. And follow us on Spotify. We're live here on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube every Saturday morning at 8. But we're also on Spotify with 100 plus shows up there that you can go back and watch and listen to and maybe be entertained, maybe be disgusted. I don't know. You make comments. Tell us what you think.
Only by my bad jokes.
Tom and Greg in their festive hats. I have a festive shirt, but you can't see it.
There we go. Meowie Christmas.
Yes.
Oh, I love it. Meow.
That's good.
Grumpy cat.
Let's put this on the screen right now. All right, some other shout outs for this week. Have you guys been to Freddy's yet up in McChesney Park?
I have not. Where's Freddy's?
Freddy's is up on 173. It's over near the 251 and 173, near that intersection. They do steak burgers and custard.
Really?
And so that was my first Freddy's steak burger was this week. My mother-in-law has been wanting to go for a long time, so we took her there for dinner this week and enjoyed it's one of those things where you're better off eating the burger with a fork, and a fork and a knife rather than trying to pick it up and eat it. It's a little messy, but it's really good.
Is it a steak or it's just?
It's a burger patty, but it's a higher quality meat.
That's what I was wondering.
Yeah. So kudos to Freddy's. That was dinner with my mother-in-law this week, and I also went to Portillo's for the first time in a long time. And I don't know if you guys go to Portillo's very often.
I've been to Portillo's enough times to know that, number one, the prices are decent, the food is phenomenal, and the service might even be better than the food. It's unbelievable. It's quite an experience. But the reason I'm going to sound like Yogi Berra, the reason I don't go there very often is because every time I drive by, it is wall-to-wall cars. I'm glad
you brought that up.
You're going to wait 45 minutes.
They've got that
They do.
Figured out that you are very quick.
Them and Chick-fil-A, they've got it figured out. That is unbelievable.
And you said exactly the same thing, I think. I really, when my wife brought up going there for our date night this week, I was kind of like, I haven't been there in forever. And, because we haven't been there in so long, I'll put up with the fact that I know it's going to be crowded because it's dinner time and it's going to be crowded. It was not crowded inside at all. We had 2 people in front of us in line when we walked in. There was plenty of tables. There were plenty of places to sit because so many people do the drive-through.
Yeah.
That the seating, there was wide open seating at dinner time on, was it Monday or Tuesday night that we went there? I forget which night it was. But it was not crowded inside at all. So if you're looking for a place to go sit down and eat, even during dinner time, now take that with a grain of salt because obviously in the holiday this week, it is going to be crowded because there's going to be so many people out.
Right. Right. I may even go there to get a roast beef sandwich or something. And their shakes are unbelievable.
Shakes are so good. I did a fish sandwich this time because I had plenty of beef my last couple of meals before that one. I was like, I don't need any more red meat right now. I need something else. Fish sandwich was pretty darn good. Mm-hmm. So those are my restaurant shout outs this week. Shout out this week to Rockford buyer who got under contract here. Not actually right down the street from Joann's house. I sold a house down from your house. I won't tell you. I won't say where. But
so if you don't like your neighbor, Joann, you can blame that guy right there.
That house has been that the woman's husband died, and she moved up north to be with her family. So the house has been. If it's the house that it's on post.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's not on post, but it's on post. This isn't the one
that makes a whole lot of no sense at all.
A long time because she moved up north and didn't put it up for sale, and then finally put up for sale, and then that sale. It doesn't say your company though. No. This
one's actually a few houses down from that one. That one I think I'm talking about. There's a couple houses for sale in your area. They're both under contract now, I believe. But
yes. So some man called me. I mean, I sound like this is not this is on the subject, but you'll love this. And he was saying, I just sold a house on your street. And I said, that's really nice. But I have a dear friend that's a realtor. Yeah. And if I ever plan to sell my house, he will get my first call. And he was like, he didn't know quite how to respond to that. I didn't drop your name, but I hate when that was a cold call to try and get me interest in selling my house.
I didn't even have to give you a script. You nailed it, Joann. That was exactly what you said. When I sit down with clients we do something called home buyer strategy sessions, especially with new first-time home buyers, but with everybody, we like to do this because the process of buying a home, it might be a little bit different from the last time you bought one if you did 10 or 20 years ago, right? So one of the things I always tell them is if you decide to go to open houses, the second question out of the host's mouth is probably going to be, who are you working with, a realtor? And that's when you tell them, yeah, I'm working with this Greg guy over at Keller Williams. We'll tell him if we like the house. Because when you go to open houses, the people that are there hosting the open house, they represent the seller. Okay. Mm-hmm. So you don't want to give them more information than they need. Now, obviously you're at an open house and you're in someone else's property. So it makes sense that you should be able to leave a record of who you are and why you visited. Right. So here's your name and your name and that you were there.
Okay. So this brings to mind a question. Can you represent both buyer and seller, or is that a conflict? You can't do that, right?
That's a really good. In some states you can't. In our state you can, but you have to have written permission. So we have a dual agency. It's called a dual agency form that basically says, I understand that sold on Toni, Keller Williams Realty is representing the seller and the buyer on the same property, and I'm okay with that as long as they keep my personal if confidential and don't share more than they have to. So if I were to buy Joann's house, let's say Joann hits the lottery and moves to Florida. I know, but if you hit the lottery and you win 10 million, you're going to move to Florida. I'm going to buy Joann's house. You're going to represent her. You're going to represent me. How would all that work since we know each other? I mean, right. That would be kind of weird, wouldn't it?
He brings two caps. So he puts one cap on. It says Joann's realtor, and then he talks to me. Then he takes that cap off and puts Tom's realtor.
Just turn it around.
That would be
one cap. Your name, my name.
I think it would be really hard to do, and they don't really. I was.
Hello, Toni. Toni, we need to hire Joann because she's excellent at this. She knows exactly. Thanks, Toni. Yeah.
No, I will just be your spokesperson.
You kind of have that right, Joann. You kind of have that almost exactly right.
But it would be, I think it would be in your best interest to get your own realtor.
And in some cases, that's very true. So in this case, here's what would happen in this very specific instance. I know Tom, I know Joann. Joann's selling her house and Tom's buying it. So
that realtor's gonna be calling me in an hour again.
Yeah.
So Tom looks at the house and he says, Greg, I want to buy this house. And I said, great, Tom, that's awesome. Just so you know, I also represent the seller. And so I need you to sign this that says you're okay with me representing you and the seller at the same time. Here's the thing. Because I know both of you, there are certain things about the seller, Tom, I have to keep confidential. I can't tell you everything about her. Let's just pretend
Right.
you don't know each other. I can't tell you things about her, but everything physical about the property, I can absolutely tell you about that. Anything I know about the physical property, I'm going to be here to tell you all about that stuff.
Right.
But don't ask me about the seller. I'm not going to give you any personal information about her because that's confidential. Same goes vice
Are you
versa.
going to tell him that I had 1 million dogs?
Right.
I could probably smell it when I walk in. Hey,
I hope
smells
not.
like a kennel in here. No, I'm kidding.
Taking great care
kidding.
of the property. It doesn't even stink at all.
So the interesting point, though, is that you're trying to make as much money for Joann as you can, but you're trying to
But
save
he also
me.
wants to help you too.
Right. You're trying to save me as much money as you can. So that puts you in that middle ground where you're going to.
And that's where, as a realtor,
That's why he has the double hats.
well,
Yeah.
that's where we get into the nitty gritty of actual statistics and say, okay, Tom, you made an offer on this house that Joann has accepted, and here are the comparable properties that have sold nearby. So you know you're paying a fair price for the house, and she knows she's getting a fair price for the house, and everyone's happy. So it's not a situation. Now, the situation changes a little bit, though, when there's multiple offers on the house.
Mm.
And that's usually the case in the current market, is each house is normally getting 2 or 4 or 10 offers on their house. So when that happens, and I'm representing a seller and a buyer, well, that's a different conversation, because I'm saying, well, you need to offer your highest and best on this property to have any chance of winning it. So what is your highest and best offer?
Mhm.
Right. So
I
if I
can't
only
tell you-
want to give 120,000, but someone's willing to give 140 or 150, it's your duty to go with the higher one for her benefit. And
No.
sorry, Tom, so sad.
No,
That's-
it's not.
That's where you're actually wrong.
Okay. All
That's
right.
where, because not the highest dollar amount is not always the best offer.
Oh, well, no, I understand that. What I mean is the best deal is what I'm saying. The
Right.
best deal. And you could, okay, so Craig, the meth head, wants to buy the house, and you suspect he's going to have a meth lab in the basement. Sorry, I know you want to give 175, but no, you're not going to get this house. We'll have to make up a reason, because we can't say because you're a meth head. But,
You don't normally know that information, but
you don't. But if he's got tattoos all over his face and everything else, I know.
Now Tom's trying to get me in trouble, and I'm not going to let him do that.
No, I'm not trying to get you in trouble. I'm simply saying some common sense does prevail here, right?
So when we here's the cross-eyed look sometimes I get from clients when I ask them.
We've changed from a Christmas program to a realtor program.
Yeah, we have.
That's what happens when we don't have a guest. This turns into the real estate show. So when I tell clients that they're making their highest and best offer, normally people default to what Tom just said. Isn't the highest offer always the best offer? And it's not. There are terms involved in the offer. Just because someone offered $20,000 more than asking price doesn't mean they're using a lender that we like and know and trust. And it doesn't mean that they are actually showing the proof of funds that they have the money to close on the sale in the first place. There are other terms involved. Maybe they don't want to close on the sale for 3 months, and Joann wants to move in 4 weeks. That's a term of the contract.
Right.
So all of the terms of the contract make it what it is as the highest and best. So we have things to talk about, and sometimes I think my favorite story to tell about this was about 5 years ago. I was a part of 2 offers out of 3 offers that were written on the same one property. All right. So one property's for sale. I've showed it to a few clients. 2 of my clients made offers, and someone else's client also made an offer. So I told my buyers, I said, Are you okay with me representing more than one buyer on this same property? Because you're writing an offer and one of my other clients already wrote an offer. And it's called contemporaneous offers. That's the legal term. And my buyers they both knew me well enough. They trusted me to give them good information. They're like, yeah, we understand. You're representing two clients, same property. That's okay. The second buyer of mine that wrote an offer offered less money than the first buyer that wrote. So for just a second or two, it almost came out of my mouth something like, you need to offer more than that because you probably won't get it. Thankfully, I didn't say that because they made their highest and best offer anyway. I didn't have to say anything. They made their highest and best, even though it was less than the other offer. The seller's agent presents the offers, and it turns out the client that offered less was friends of a neighbor who was good friends of the seller. And that neighbor said, hey, if you get an offer from so-and-so,
take it.
Just so you know, we know them and we like them and would love them to be neighbors. And we think that your dad, your late father who passed away and lived in this house and basically built it, we think he would love knowing that this family is raising their kids in his house.
Yeah, of course.
The house. They got the house. So even though they offered less money, the terms were great. The terms were very great. And the neighbors like them. So
cool.
There you go. I mean, things happen. So
well, that's such a great story. And I hope you don't think I was trying to get you to I would never do that to you. I just for me it was a legit question. I wasn't sure.
It is a legitimate question.
Yeah.
And we actually, when we bought our house way back in the day, we were a young couple that did not have a realtor, but we had inherited some money from my husband's mother had died, and we had inherited money so we could have a down payment. So we actually, the house was marked sale pending when we went to the open house. And we ended up, I said, well, the sale's pending. We don't want to buy this house when someone else is wanting to buy this house. And the realtor took us aside, and he kind of ran our information and decided we were a good bet. Well, the sale pending was pending on the other person selling their house.
There you go.
We didn't have anything to sell. We were renting. So we were actually a better bet because their sale, I'm talking funny, their sale actually fell through. So their house did not sell. And we ended up with the house where I'm still at.
Perfect example. Perfect example. And that does happen. That does happen. When you have a home sale contingency on a contract, it's like, well, we can't buy unless we sell the current house we're in. Well, another buyer could come along with a good solid offer, and the seller could say, okay, the way our contract is written, you have to give the first buyer 72 hours to remove their home sale contingency. So you give them 3 days to try to find out a way to still buy the house without selling their current house. And sometimes they can do that. Hey, I'm taking money out of a retirement account. I got a gift from a family member, whatever it is. Sometimes they can make that happen. Sometimes they can't. So
yeah,
you want a house deal that way, and that happens. That definitely happens.
You've been listening to On the House with Greg, Joann, and Tom. Stay tuned next week. We talk about adding garages.
Shout outs continue. GTTN, growing together through networking. I want to thank David Sidney. He's the Parks Place setter. His company's called Place Foundry. He's helping McChesney Park and Loves Park to create magnetic spaces that draw people, draw community, make people like living and want to live in the parks area. And it was really cool to hear from him some of the plans they have, especially around Rivets Stadium. There's some proposals to happen around there that are very exciting, and I'm looking forward to seeing how that all comes together.
It's a nice area out there.
It's got a lot of potential. Quick shout out to Emily Bisson and her Grow Your Network, which is an online Zoom networking once a month deal that she does through LinkedIn. Also met some great people again this month, and thanks to her for running that. I already talked about the Eagles Club stuff. And then last week again, we were using this headset from PC Tech to You. And I wanted to give them one more shout out because this was so cool. OpenCom. If you're looking for a open ear headset to use with a microphone, highly recommend checking out PC Tech to You and these OpenCom headphones. They came in great handy. They're wonderful. They're comfortable. They're lightweight. They last 16 hours on one charge. 16 hours.
Nice.
So Robert Lockwood, who owns PC Tech to You, I've seen him wearing these, and he'll wear his all day. So his will be on his head for 6, 7, 8 hours at a time. And just wear them all day because they're comfortable enough, and they're open ear, so you can still hear stuff around you that's going on. Yeah, so kudos, Robert. Thank you for that. We'll definitely get more use out of that. I think that covers all of my shout outs. We still have a story to read. And do we want to do that before or after our pet of the week? Do you have a pet of the week to focus on this week, Joann?
Why don't we end with that and we'll do the pet of the week first?
That's okay.
Yeah.
Did you want to? You always have to pick a pet. Pick a pet.
Can we pick a pet to focus on this week?
I'm trying to switch.
While
Pick a pet.
she's getting ready, let's play a little. Don't forget the snow.
I was just talking about this cat. Beautiful cat.
I'll play the Snowman song while you're walking around.
To Grandma's house we're gonna go. It's way up north where they have lots of snow. Christmas songs on the radio.
Am I mirroring? There.
We got the holly and mistletoe. So many marshmallows in hot cocoa.
Where are we singing? Not a creature's spirit.
Lights glow. Just don't forget the snowman.
It's a young one.
Don't forget the snowman.
I want them all.
Snowman. Don't forget the snowman.
We've got another week in December. Cats have been crazy with the adoptions.
Nice. Wow, look at that.
Let's go outside and have some
Dogs are not quite so many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. Shelby
winter
is a
sun.
little schnauzer that got adopted by a good friend of mine. She had adopted another dog. Sometimes my fosters become forever friends.
Is that a tail sticking out?
We don't need no pantyhose.
What? Oh, I think so, yeah.
Don't forget the snowman.
Don't step on the tail.
Don't forget the snowman.
These two are 2 for 1.
Yeah.
2 little boys.
Forget the snowman.
Yeah, I can't say their name. VLAD and Igor. I don't know. You want to focus on the tail. Hey, your tail is stuck out there.
It's a long tail.
Black and white.
New Year's Day is finally.
Oh, anyhow, I was saying she adopted from me years ago. Her dog had passed, and she sent me a message and said, "Do you have any dogs that might interest me?" And I told her about Shelby, and she came in to meet her and took her home. So that was a wonderful story for Christmas. Shelby was a 6-month-old. Now, this is a beautiful cat too. Did you guys pick the cat of the week? Toby said, "Did you pick me?"
Did you get one? What?
Why don't we always pick the cat of the week that's been there the longest?
That makes things better.
Then we would have the same cat every week.
Oh, there's that.
Yeah, but then you just rotate them out or whatever.
Oh, here's a bundle of kittens.
Oh, look at you.
Going home.
Dang.
This is Lily, our shelter manager.
Lily, you're working too hard. You need to calm down.
Yeah.
Something, shelter, something.
These are my fosters.
Oh, you fostered them?
Oh. Good job, Lily.
Thank you.
What are their names?
This is Tonto, and this one is Zorro.
Zorro and Tonto. Gee, I wonder where they came from. Sweet kittens. She also has a heartworm positive dog she's fostering. So besides working at the shelter, she keeps busy at home too. This is Macchiato. See, I finally can say that. This is our longest resident right now.
Don't forget the snowman.
Let's find an adopter.
Macchiato has 6 kittens. She's kind of a. I was trying to read her story. I don't know. She's a little particular about who she wants to live with.
Oops, we left Kevin home alone.
But I thought we had Macchiato on as our cat before.
Day is finally here.
And our cat that had her leg amputated, she got adopted last week.
Don't forget the snowman.
All right.
Don't forget the snowman.
I forgot what her name was. She's far on the list. We had a lot of pairs got adopted recently.
Right.
I counted like 28 cats on there.
Wow. Close to November's 36.
Sabrina was the one that lost her leg. Excuse me. So, and I have a heartworm positive dog too that's being treated. Jane, I love this. My granddaughter came by yesterday and I was telling her the list. This is from Woodward Governor. Lily had made up these cards and they said they had this on their Christmas tree. And in less than a day, everyone took one of these cards.
Wow.
And sent gifts. But we were reading them yesterday. My granddaughter was here. She wanted to see all the cats. So I brought her here and got such a kick. And Woodward Governor was just awesome in bringing all the things for the cats. I think Noah's Ark I'm trying to think of where they have a tree of. They have the same thing somewhere, but I don't remember where. But I mean, we've been really lucky with people giving this time of year. It's been really exciting.
Cool. Well, as always, contact PAWS, 815-299-PAWS if you have any questions, 815-299-7297. Visit the website, pawshs.org. Real quick, over on GoRockford.com. There's all kinds of family stuff to do this week. Of course, Festival of Lights continues through the week. They are open from 5 to 7 p.m. or 5 p.m. to 11 p.m. Extended hours today and tomorrow and Christmas Day and Tuesday the 26th, all the way through Saturday the 30th and New Year's Eve until midnight. So that's all going on at Sinisippi Park. All aglow, the holiday display at Nicholas Conservatory and Gardens that Tom wants to leave up all year round, or at least most of it. They're up till January 7th, so you got plenty of time to see that. Of course, this rainy weather doesn't make it real fun to walk around, but you know what? It was all lit up last night, even though it was kind of raining. Bring your umbrella.
It's awe-inspiring. I mean, it's beautiful when you drive down North 2nd, especially if you're passing through town and you see that. It's like the San Antonio River Walk. It's unbelievable.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
Yeah. And I don't know why you can solar power them during the summer. So why wouldn't you do that? Leave them up all night, all year, all summer.
Portions of it would be great. Winter Wonderland Discovery Center Museum is this week. Event activities from 10 to 4. Museum is open 9:30 to 4:30. December 22nd through January 2nd. I imagine they're going to be closed Christmas Day. But other than that, there's a lot of stuff to do at Discovery Center Museum on North Main Street in Rockford.
Right.
And the Ice Hogs have a home game this week on Wednesday night. They are home Wednesday night, the 27th, and New Year's Eve. They take on Milwaukee at 4 p.m. So there you go. Those of us who used to do the New Year's Eve celebration in the Metro Center back in the day.
Oh, yeah. I remember that.
What do we call that? New Year's Eve. First night. It was First Night Rockford. That's what it was.
Okay.
That's
First
right.
night back in the day. So that's Ice Hogs got their thing going on. All right. I'll skip all the other stuff because we don't need it. Well, let's do our big number of the week. Let Joann go, and then we can do our reading, Tom. How about that?
All right. And then Packer talk.
Oh, I thought you were doing a Christmas story.
We are. Yes, we're going to do that. We'll do that
You're
last.
not going to listen to it.
Oh, do you want to do it now before we do the big number of the week?
Why don't we?
Oh, awesome. Okay.
I mean, if she wants, yeah, absolutely.
All right. Let's change this up here. I need to go to get that music down and that music up. Let me set the mood, guys. Let me set the mood.
All right.
And we're going to put up this overlay right here. Find a way that this might actually look good. I think it looks good.
Looks really good.
There we go. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. This is the story about 700 years before God came to earth as a baby boy. A prophet named Isaiah told of the virgin birth of Jesus. In Isaiah 7:14, the 7th chapter, 14th verse says this: "Therefore, the Lord himself will give you a sign. The virgin will conceive and give birth to a son and call him Emmanuel." This is Tom and Greg's interpretation of the story of the birth of Jesus.
In the small town of Nazareth lived a young woman named Mary, pure of heart and full of grace. She was betrothed to a kind carpenter named Joseph.
One day, an angel appeared to Mary, filling the room with a radiant light. Fearful, yet curious, Mary listened as the angel spoke. Gabriel said, "Greetings, Mary, favored by God. The Lord is with you. Do not be afraid, for you have found favor with God. You will conceive and give birth to a son, and you will call him Jesus."
Overwhelmed with awe and a touch of apprehension, Mary accepted her divine destiny. Joseph, though initially troubled by the news, received assurance from an angel of his own and embraced his role as protector and father figure to the coming child.
As the time drew near, a decree went out from Caesar Augustus for a census of the whole Roman world. Joseph, being of the house and lineage of David, had to travel to Bethlehem, his ancestral town. Mary said, "Joseph, I can't make the journey. The babe is due soon." Joseph replied, "Worry not, Mary. I will carry you on a donkey, and we will take shelter wherever we can find it. God will guide us."
And so they set off on their long journey, Mary riding on a donkey's back, her belly swollen with the miracle within.
Arriving in Bethlehem, weary, travel worn, they sought lodging in an inn. The innkeeper could only say, "There is no room in the inn. Every bed is full."
Dejected but determined, Joseph pleaded for any corner they could find. Finally, moved by their plight, the innkeeper offered them a humble stable. In the quiet of the stable, amidst the low moos of cattle and the scent of hay, Mary gave birth to her son. Wrapping him in swaddling cloths, she laid him gently in a manger.
Outside in the fields nearby, shepherds kept watch over their flocks. One said to the other, "Did you see that light in the sky, brighter than any star?" His companion replied, and the angels singing. They announced the birth of a king.
Guided by the wondrous light in the heavenly chorus, the shepherds made their way to the stable. Kneeling before the newborn babe, they offered simple gifts and heartfelt prayers.
News of the miraculous birth spread throughout the land. People marveled at the humble king, born not in a palace, but in a stable.
The birth of Jesus was a simple affair, yet it marked a turning point in history. For in that humble stable, a light shone brighter than any star, bringing hope and love to the world.
The greatest story ever told, Emmanuel, God with us in the flesh for over 30 years in the life of Jesus. Jesus came to earth and entered into our story. The Christmas story shows us that God isn't scared by our messiness and sin. Let's be sure we react the same way to those in our lives. There are people all around us hurting, messy, broken, just like us, full of sin. We're here to enter into their story, their messy, difficult story, exactly like Jesus did for us. So from all of us at the Saturday Morning Stateline Show, may the joy of Christmas be the joy in your journey all year long. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas. God bless.
There we go. There's your Christmas story with a little help from AI.
A little help from AI.
That's
All
another thing.
intelligent.
One of the things I asked bard.google.com to write for me, and then I, of course, looked at it and said, not quite, but close enough. I'll edit it and make it work. But yeah, very, very good. All right. Joanne's sending me her pause pet of the week, which we'll post a little bit later on.
Macchiato, so
Thank you.
the longest resident. I forget.
And see, I'm confident that Macchiato will be adopted this week, and then we'll go with the next oldest one.
Okay.
And if not, we'll just do the next oldest one anyway.
So Macchiato
Lisa's
is
listening on
the longest.
LinkedIn. Thanks for the comment, Lisa.
Someone said 18 months.
Oh, wow. You know what? I may come down and get him myself or her.
I think she doesn't like dogs.
Oh,
Hmm.
Real cat person. Yeah.
yeah.
A cat only place for macchiato. That's
who
the goal.
understands.
That's too bad.
So
All
You know,
right.
the funny thing is, my two dogs are the most cat-friendly dogs you'll ever find. I've got
my
Remy.
dogs are semi-friendly, but I can't always rely on my foster dog.
Right. Exactly.
So
exactly.
That's why I won't
My-
get
my-
cat that. You
My
don't.
cat Remy, when he was about 6 months old, and we brought him home, he'd been there about a month or so, and Milton, my lab, who was just a big old teddy bear, but he wanted to say, "I'm the boss. I'm in charge here." He comes up to Remy, and Milton was a lab about 100 pounds, black lab. He goes, "Ruh, ruh, ruh, ruh," right in Remy's face. Remy looks at him, wags his tail a couple of times, and then does one of these, licks his paw and starts cleaning himself. It was the cutest thing I've ever seen in my life. It was like, yeah, whatever. See you
Okay.
later.
I'll
And-
let you be the boss.
And Milton understood. He's not afraid of me. Okay. And they were best friends. So,
I'll let you be the boss. It's okay. Go ahead.
yep.
You be the boss. All right, we got a big number. In our current race to 10, Joann and Tom tied at 6 apiece, 2 field goals for each team. All right. And our big number.
That's right. No. I had a touchdown, but my kicker is bad. And Anders Carlson missed the extra point.
No, don't say that. Big number of the
And
week.
Joann had 3 safeties.
Joann had 3 safeties.
That's right.
202,000. The answer is Swans or Salary. Swans or Salary. And Tom has sent me his guess. So, Joann, what is your guess? 3, 2, 1, go.
Salary.
Salary. Did you know Tom guessed Salary as well? So you're either both getting a point or you're not getting a point. Here we go. PNC does their annual Christmas price index based on the prices of the gifts in the 12 days of Christmas.
Oh, jeez.
Right? 12 days of Christmas. I've got a video to play. Oh, I've got another video to play. Oh, I'm going to play it, guys. I'm going to, I hope I can find it quickly. I don't want to drag this out too long. I didn't.
We got all day.
I have a video to play if it's up here. And these are photos. These are videos. And where's my video of the 12 days of Christmas? Dun, 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 dun. All these videos. Oh my gosh. 2 weeks ago? No, that's not it. Where did I post it, guys?
Somewhere on your computer. That's all I can tell you.
See, I should have had this ready to go earlier. I'm sorry.
Well, you know, my motto when I do trivia is good help is hard to find. So
I know, right?
And, you know, it's gotten to the point now where I'll make a mistake or I'll forget something or I can't find something. And I'll say, guys, what is my motto? And half the place goes, good help is hard to find. So they know me.
All right. I guess it's going to take me too long to find it. So I better just skip it, right? The 12 days of Christmas are a fun thing to do. And I've got this video that is not going to come up. It's going to be too hard to find. All right, so I'll skip it. 12 days of Christmas. Here we go. No. I'll post it later. It's reliably the most charming way to track how much inflation really stinks. We hate inflation, obviously. This year, the total cost of all the items from the 12 days of Christmas would be $202,000. That, of course, includes Swans. So we're going to leave the score at 6-6. Neither one of you are getting it.
I went with Swans too. Thinking Christmas theme.
The 7 swans of swimming would cost you about $13,000 on their own this year. If you were going to hire someone to put together 7 swans of swimming, and you
were going to hire 10 Lords of Leaping dancers, whatever, they're talking like it might cost you like $200 an hour for them or something. Is that what they're saying?
Maybe for each dancer. Yeah. So all told, $202,000 to get all the things. Birds aren't cheap. There's a lot of birds in the 12 days of Christmas.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So somebody made the argument that they're all birds, like Lords of Leaping. Leaping lords are birds. And it was some sort of a theory or something that they were actually all birds. Yeah. Maids of milking, like milking maids is a bird. Or something along those lines. I don't know. Maybe not.
I think that could be said properly. I think that could be said that way. Let me see if maybe. Oh gosh, guys, why am I doing this to myself?
5 golden rings, 4 calling birds.
Yeah.
Now we're gonna have to
3 French hens, 2 turtle doves, and a partridge in a pear tree. That's right. I really hate that song.
Yeah.
That one and The Little Drummer Boy are probably my 2 least favorite Christmas songs.
So maybe it's a good thing I'm not finding this video with the 12.
Well, it just drags on for so long. You know, if it was just the 12 days and they didn't repeat everything again and again and again and again. We had a trivia question the other night. How many items are there actually in total?
And there's 2 ways to interpret it because
I know. That's why I didn't use the question.
Yeah. So the one way is you start at 12 and go to 1 and you're done. The other way is you start at 1, then you do 1, 2, then you do 1, 2, 3, then you do 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yep.
That's a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Well, the answer I believe was 364. So that was the second way to do it. 1 and then 1 and 2 is 3, and then 1, 2, and 3 is.
Time you sing through the song.
Well, I don't think it is because otherwise, if you're doing 12 times 12, that's 144 right there.
Okay.
So that number would be in the thousands. So no, it would be only the 1 time through. But do you do it just the 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5, which would end up being about 100 or whatever. The other way, yeah. because you do the 12 plus 11 plus 10 plus 9 plus 8 all the way up to, and I think it would come out to be maybe 70 something, I guess. And then the other way, the second way Greg was talking about was when you do it 1 plus 2, and then 1 and 2 plus 3 is 6, and then 1, 2, 3 is 6 plus 4 is 10, and all that. Then it turns out to be 364 or something like that. It's a dumb question, and we didn't use it. So.
It gets really hard. The math savant type people love that question because they can get it.
Yeah,
they know that stuff. They can crunch the numbers. But yeah, this isn't coming up the way I was hoping it would. So that's okay. We don't need it.
For the rest of the, all of our listeners will be singing the 12 Days of Christmas.
There you go. Enjoy your 12 days. I can't even find the video. That's really sad. All right. That's everything except, I guess, our sports talk for the day.
Woo! It's football time.
Remember, friends, you change the world when you help one person. Be a blessing to someone today. We'll try to do the same and meet you back here next week for the final Saturday morning Stateline show ever.
Yeah, you may want to clarify that. Joann, look what I made, by the way.
I can't tell what that is. Oh,
It's a Packer hat. Packer hat made with yarn.
It's a stocking cap for a Pokemon.
That's right. Stocking cap for my Ken doll.
Oh,
Well, you know what? Yeah, for a teddy bear.
Oh, we could probably fit a smaller teddy bears.
I'm not in my normal abode. So
No. Maybe
there
it'll
we
cover
go.
up here.
There we go. Look at that. Look at that.
Nicely done.
Yeah, it was cool.
Nicely done.
Wrong colors. Oh, you know what, Lisa? I have navy blue and orange as well, and I'm going to be making some little bear ones as well. But thank you for the compliment. I believe these are the two best colors ever created. But hey,
Green and gold, baby. Green and gold. Woo,
yeah, baby.
All
Lisa,
right.
stick around for Packer talk. We'll talk a little Bears too, probably.
all right.
See you next week, Joann.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
Joann. Merry Christmas, hon. We love you.
There goes Joann from the PAWS Humane Society at PAWS headquarters over by the Cherryvale Mall. Yes. All right. The Green Bay Packers, which we were so excited about 2.5 weeks ago, have made things a little more tense.
Okay, you know the old thing what I've been saying where, you know, Colin Cowherd on Fox FS1, Fox Sports, he says where Colin was right, where Colin was wrong. Well, I started doing that where Tom was right, where Tom was wrong. Totally wrong. Totally wrong, Tom. I said after Green Bay beat Kansas City, and I said it before that.
The Chargers,
I said
the Lions, the Chiefs.
Yes. I said if Green Bay beats the Chiefs, they're in the playoffs, and they will make a run at the division. And then they go and they drop the game to the Giants, which they shouldn't have. They were ahead. 1:33 left in that sorry defense. Joe Barry's defense gave up, 60 yards, 40 yards, whatever it was.
I flip-flopped back again. I was on Team Barry for about 3 weeks, and then I was like, wait a minute. I'm completely wrong. I'm on the fire Joe Barry bus again.
Oh, I am too. And I was exactly with you on the Team Joe Barry. I was, because they look good. They look like they'd finally figured it out. Then they go and lose a game to Tampa Bay. Now, here's an interesting stat you may have heard. There are only 2 quarterbacks in the history of Lambeau Field who have had a perfect quarterback rating. A perfect quarterback rating is 158 point something. 0.53? Is that what it is?
Crazy. Weird, but that's true.
And what it is, basically, if you're not sure what that means, it's you get ratings on everything you do. Passing, touchdowns, no interceptions, no fumbles, no this, no that. Basically, almost mistake-free football. They don't punish you for an incomplete pass because sometimes you have to throw the ball away. That's actually good quarterbacking.
That's right.
Sometimes your receiver drops it. So you don't get punished for that kind of stuff. So 2 quarterbacks in the history of Lambeau Field. Aaron Rodgers, not even Brett Favre. Nobody else. Sorry about that.
Brett Favre he was so exciting, but he threw interceptions every game.
He threw 300 and I want to say 320
Most
lifetime
in
interceptions. Most ever.
Yeah.
And he had 520 touchdowns and like 340 interceptions. He was not even 2-1 with touchdowns to interceptions, 1.8. Aaron Rodgers, 4.2 to 1 for interception to touchdown ratio. Enough said about that. But here is the other person, Baker Mayfield, last week. How do you, as a defense, as a defensive coordinator in your own home stadium, you're heading for the playoffs. As of last week, they were still the 7th team controlling their own destiny. And then you drop a game 38-20 to Tampa Bay. Hapless Tampa Bay.
They were playing the worst prevent defense ever. They were so far off the ball, and it was like, you got to stop the first downs. You got to stop them from getting first downs because they're going to kick a field goal and win.
That's right. And but what's killed them all year is third downs. If you can't muster up enough for third down, 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8, 3rd and 10, and you're giving up first downs, and not just first downs plus 5, 7, 10 yards. They're gaining 20 yards on third down. That's what I meant, third down. If you can't stop them, you're done. Now, there still is an outside, by the way, sorry about that, folks. I've been nursing this cold and head cold, and I feel like I got stepped on by a big bear or something. Not a Chicago bear. They don't beat anybody. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Now Lisa's gonna give me the thumbs down. Don't do that. I was kidding.
She's out of Chicago. She left us.
Oh, did she?
She's out.
Oh, there. Okay, heading to Chicago. Have a very nice weekend. All right, Lisa. So have a nice weekend. She's probably going to the Bear game. Wow, that might. Oh, that's cool. Maybe
that's tomorrow.
But anyway, that is tomorrow. Well, she's going to stay overnight and go to the Magic Mile or the Miracle Mile, whatever it's called. Yeah, on Michigan Avenue. Beautiful place, by the way. Anyway. So there's an outside chance they can go 9-8 and squeak in as a wild card. I don't know if I want them to, because I don't want Joe Barry's defense to play well for the next couple of games. And then all of a sudden they're like, well, he had a bad stretch there, but we're going to give him another year. No, I want him gone. But I also don't want the Packers to go 6-11, because that falls right into where everybody said this is a much better team than 6-11, 7-10, or even 8-9. This is a team that should have gone 10-7, which is why I made the prediction I made. Now, Detroit did surprise me. Dan Campbell is, by all accounts, not as good a coach as everybody thinks. He just simply is not.
He's got talent. He's got the hard-nosed drive. He's got the fervor, and he's exciting to his players, and his players have run through a wall for him. That's huge.
Absolutely. But so would Buddy Ryans. Do you remember Buddy Ryan when he became the Philadelphia Eagles head coach?
Not good.
Oh, not good. He's a great defensive coordinator, but a horrible head coach.
Yeah.
The one thing that when you think of Buddy Ryan, he said about Chris Carter. Before Chris Carter, he was with Philly. Before he went to Minnesota and became an absolute superstar, he said all he does is catch touchdowns. That is right out of the book of Yogi Berra. Well, isn't that what you want? What he was saying was, it's all he's good for is just touchdowns. He doesn't catch balls down the field. He just is there for the glory at the end. Okay, that's fine. So you catch 12 to 14 touchdowns in a year, and that wins you 5 or 6 games that you may not have won. Now you're 12-4, going back to when it was a 16-game season, instead of 9-7 or 8-6 or something like that. What a moron he was. and all I'm saying is, I don't want Joe Barry to have
it is
any
a tough
kind
position to be in, because you want your team to do well. You want them to do well, but at this point, maybe it's better that they don't do well. The last on the schedule were all winnable games, and if you have told me they're going to win 3 out of their last 5, I would have expected them to win at least 1 of the last 2. So if they now win out, it still fits out of the last 5, idea. But
you should have had at least 4 out of 5. I'll give you the Tampa Bay one. Tampa Bay just simply played out of their heads. That was fine. But what I want is for the Packers to make the playoffs, because I want, number one, I want the experience for all the guys coming back next year. Now you know what it's like to be in the playoffs. Number 2, I want Jordan Love to make the playoffs in his first season as the Packers.
He's worthy, man. He's really playing well.
Oh, I'm telling you, I believe Jordan Love is the real deal. He will not be a Hall of Famer, I don't believe, but I think he's going to be a very serviceable quarterback for the Packers for the next 8 to 10 years. And I also think Jordan Love and Matt LaFleur will win a Super Bowl. I do.
I feel confident about that.
Yep.
I think they got the talent around it to make that happens, but they need a defensive coordinator now.
Oh, yeah. You have to focus on defense like nobody's business. You go out and get the best defensive lineman you can find. You go out and get another linebacker, and you go out and get another defensive back. You got 7 picks in the draft. You're going to pick probably 14th or 15th. You're going to get somebody good. You go out and get and I say you either trade for a running back or you draft a running back. I want a sneaky little back like an Alvin Kamara, like a David Montgomery, like a bruising back. Aaron Jones is good. He's in the middle of the bruising back. That's A.J. Dillon, and the squirty little back, like a Barry Sanders, David Montgomery type. He's in the middle of them. And when you're in the middle of that, like a Marshall Faulk type stuff, where you're big and strong enough to make a hit and take a hit, but you're going to wear down quicker. This is why running backs last 5 to 7 years in the NFL. Look at that. Look at Ezekiel Elliott.
Yeah, he was great for a few years, then done.
He's done now. And now he's with New England, and they're on the verge of getting the number 1 draft pick.
They're on the verge of maybe letting Belichick go.
He will be gone. I
think they let him retire.
They'll make it a mutual separation. They'll let him retire. He won't retire because he's still going to be in the NFL. He's probably going to go to San Diego.
Gosh.
Got a great nucleus in San Diego. Belichick's a good coach. He'll whip them into shape. He will. There's a huge lack of discipline with I say San Diego. Las Vegas. No, Chargers. Los Angeles Chargers.
Nobody wants them. They can't go back to San Diego. The LA is the Rams, really. It's the Rams stadium. It's really not the Chargers.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Well, you know what? The Spanos family is just notoriously cheap.
Mm-hmm.
Notoriously cheap. And they would not. The reason they left San Diego is because the Spanos family would not. Now, I don't understand how all this goes, but the Spanos family didn't want to renovate the stadium or build a new stadium. So I think going to LA, where there's already a stadium,
they can pay rent.
Yeah, they can pay rent. They're going to make more money. I think that was a money thing. You know what? You knuckleheads, spend the money.
Go back to
San Diego. Stadium. You're in San Diego. It means you can use that stadium year round. State-of-the-art stadium. Come on.
Right.
You know,
build one like they did in San Francisco. That really wasn't in San Francisco.
Where is it?
It's like 20, 30 minutes away. It's
Palo Alto or something.
Yeah, it's fine. It's quite a ways away from San Francisco.
Like the Cowboys Stadium was in Irving, Texas for so many years. It was not even in Dallas. No. Now the new one is AT&T Stadium is in Dallas.
Arlington. Technically, it's Arlington. It's not even Dallas.
That's where it is now, Arlington?
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, I think you're right about that. But Irving, Texas is where the other one was. And then there's a ton of other ones that are the New York Jets and the New York Giants, the biggest city in the entire United States. Number 1 doesn't even have a football team because they both play in New Jersey. They don't have separate stadiums, which drives me absolutely batty. I don't get that.
It's wild.
Why are they in New Jersey?
That's a wild thought. Which would you think one of the two teams would say, hey, we've got this land in the Bronx or something and we're building our own stadium? No, they're not doing that.
So here's the funny thing. Back in the day, this would have been 10 to 15 years ago, LA did not have a football team because it was the St. Louis Rams. New York did not have football teams because they played in New Jersey. I know it's semantics. Houston, the 4th largest city in America, did not have a team because they were the Tennessee Oilers. Yeah. And before the Houston Texans came in, and then you could also argue that the 3rd largest city, which 4th on my list, Chicago, doesn't have a full an actual NFL team. You could argue that. So I'm sorry, Bear fans. Merry
Oh
Christmas.
gosh!
I'm
Yeah.
just messing.
There was the
Just
season they
messing.
played down in Champaign for while the stadium was being
They
renovated.
did. They played in
Was it 2 years
Champaign.
or 1 year? Was it?
It was 1 year for sure, and it was 2010. No, not 2010.
I forget.
It wasn't 2010. I remember because I did a remote. The Bears and the Packers were both 2-0. I did a remote from, of all places, Hooters with 96.7, the Eagle, and it was that Monday night game where the Packers had 18 penalties.
Oh,
I want to say it was 2010, but that wasn't the year.
They were
No,
playing
that
it
wasn't the
in
year. That wasn't the year, because I think it was 2004 when they were doing that.
Yeah.
Because 2010 is the year they won the Super Bowl.
My dog's telling me it's time for our walk. She's done waiting for me upstairs. She's actually come downstairs to say, "Hey."
All right. Packers play the Carolina Panthers. Look, if they lose that game, I'm switching to the Atlanta Falcons. That's my new team.
My
I'm kidding.
gosh.
No, I don't like Atlanta.
Do the Packers play disciplined enough, playing a team that they know they should beat? Because what is Carolina 2-10?
Yeah, they've 2-10, something like that. 2-11 probably, because there's 13, 14. No, they're 2-13, 2-12. They have to be, because there's 3 games left.
2-12. Yeah,
It's 14, so there's 3 games left. I think they've only won 2, and Patriots have won 3, I believe, maybe 4. I don't know. But anyway,
enough, most Bears fans kind of do want the Packers to win this week because
absolutely,
they got that pick.
Absolutely, because they get Carolina's first pick,
Yes.
a first round pick, and yeah. So every Bear fan is a Packer fan today. So that's fine. That's fine. I don't think there's any way the Packers can lose this game, because they're simply, last week showed they have holes and they have flaws. I get it. But those flaws and those holes will not show up today against a team that is awful. Simply awful. No matter what, I'm pretty sure if I were a betting man, if I had $100 and I could put it on I probably wouldn't win that much money. $100 would probably get you about 120.
Right.
You know?
Win lose on that game. Yeah, maybe that's about it.
Yeah, the odds are probably 1-2 instead of 2-1,
Right.
because there's no way anybody's going to be dumb enough to take the bet unless you did it with points. And like I said, I don't know enough about that stuff, so I don't bet.
All right.
But Green Bay should win this game next week against a Minnesota team in Green Bay, or no, in Minnesota. It's in Minnesota. That's not good, and they could be vying for that last playoff spot, 6 and 7.
Yeah.
Or 7 and 8. They could be vying for the last playoff spot. Minnesota will come prepared, but Green Bay could show up. I really believe Green Bay is going to run the table and go 9 and 8 and squeak into the playoffs.
I want to believe you. I want to believe you, but my gut's telling me they beat Carolina. They slaughter Minnesota. I think that's a bloodbath.
Don't say it. Don't say it.
And they
Don't say it.
I know.
Don't say it.
I think they lose the last game of the season.
Don't say it. Don't say it. You and I are no longer friends.
That's what my gut is telling me about the Packers.
No, I have that fear myself, but I just don't think that's going to happen. But the Bears,
10 minutes after the game, they fired Joe Barry.
Yeah, probably Matt LaFleur too, if that happens.
Yeah.
No, you can't fire Matt LaFleur. I love that guy. He's so good. But no, I agree with you. I agree that is a very strong possibility, because I will say something about the Bears. They have figured it out. They've put it together. Justin Fields is not their guy. I'm looking at Justin Fields versus Jordan Love in terms of progression, in terms of what they do, how they evaluate. What Jordan Love does well is he looks at he's calm, very calm under pressure. He looks at the field and he's like, okay, I see this, I see that. We're going to do this, we're going to do that. They've given him the go-ahead to audible if he needs to, and he does it. And he does it well. His passes have been more accurate. He's not short-arming him. He's not overthrowing as much. Hence, his interceptions are down. Jordan Love is the real deal. Justin Fields is not. He runs too quickly. He's like, yeah. Nobody's there. I got to run. And then he gets blasted. He's going to last 3 years in the NFL at best. 3 more years. He's already been 3 years. 3 years, 3 more years.
He's good, but he's not Michael Vick.
Even Michael Vick was out a lot sooner than he should have been. Yeah. Donovan McNabb, Dante Culpepper, all of these running quarterbacks. You can't, and they even did this with Josh Allen from the Bills. They said, you know what, we're going to stop giving you, stop running. And when you do run, for God's sakes, slide. Don't take a hit.
He likes to throw interceptions.
But he also, and that's part of it. He also likes to take hits, and he likes to deliver hits. That's good. Just ask Earl Campbell how well that worked. Right. Earl Campbell was the most bruising back I've ever seen. Maybe could have been the greatest running back of all time. The guy was an absolute monster.
Yes, he was.
But he would initiate contact. Had he not done that, he'd have played another 5 years and probably held a lot more records. And he would have not, if he's not already in the Hall of Fame. I think he is. But he would have been in the Hall of Fame with no problem whatsoever.
I forgot to put this up earlier, so I better put it up now.
Look at that.
Merry Christmas photo from your team here at Sold On. Saturday morning Stateline show right there.
I like that. Look at that good-looking dude up in the upper right there.
Hey, I've got something to show you, so don't disappear after we close out the show, okay?
Okay, good enough.
All right. Hold on, everybody. Hold on, Tom. You stay there. Everybody else, join us next Saturday for the last Saturday morning Stateline show ever. Yeah, you want to be here for that. So,
but you got to clarify because otherwise they're like, oh, I guess after next week we can't do anymore.
There you go. All right. Later, y'all. Merry Christmas.